real good day, and you don't really want to think about that. But remember that when you do have a bad day, those same people will be there and be concerned for you on that bad day. So you're kind of stockpiling some friendships and some things that you can hold on to. You have to be an advocate in your family. You're going to have extended family members that don't see your loved one, and they're not going to understand this. Hey, I'm going to tell you what, we've been on this road 13 years. I don't understand this. You know, I don't understand how a patient can look and feel wonderful today and look and feel horrible tomorrow, and then day after tomorrow. And so if you have cousins or aunts and uncles and they just see your loved one 2 or 3 days a year, and those happen to be good days or bad days, that's all they have as a reference point. And so you just have to be an advocate with those folks and help them to understand. I mean, that's part of your role. Is an advocacy role with your doctors and with the medical people. It may sound very strange to some of you that have recently been diagnosed with POTS, but I believe that the day that we got a diagnosis of POTS was one of the very good days in our journey. Because up until that point, our daughter thought everybody that looked at her just thought she was crazy.
I think we can all relate
Okay.
to that. Totally.
She, you know, I mentioned all of the cardiologists, and we also saw neurologists, and had to see psychiatrist or psychologist because that just was required. And you know, I think many times, especially dealing with young ladies, the medical profession kind of has a tendency to want that to be part of the treatment plan. And listen, there may still be good help there, but there's not a cure there, but there may be help for your journey there. I'm not saying not to do that, but I mean, Rachel wanted to call everybody and say, I really do have something, and this is what it was. The first time I heard them say postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, I thought I could never learn that term. But by the time the sun went down that night, she had called 15 people and said, I really am sick, and this really is what I've got. People out there don't understand the relief that a diagnosis can bring. So you kind of, part of your advocacy is helping people understand that at least we have a name. At least we have a range of symptoms. Okay? Yours are not going to be the same as ours, and ours are not the same as yours, but you're going to have a range of symptoms that you can begin to deal with. But advocacy is part of your journey. Encouragement. And let me just be honest. She's right back there. There are times where you need to encourage your loved one to slow down. And there are times you need to encourage your loved one to get up. And it's just going to take your wisdom and your love to know which is which. Okay? It just is.
Two greatest pieces of advice you would always say. The first one is life's tough and then you die. And the other one is that you made me promise to do nothing but cross country my freshman year in college.
Yep.
Freshman year in college, I was afraid I would overdo it and I would totally shoot myself in the foot and feel like I couldn't do college ever again. And then the life's tough and then you die has a lot of deep meaning to me. But pretty much what it means is, you know what, everybody's got something to deal with. This is yours. Make the best of it. Sorry.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, they didn't teach me that saying in seminary. Right, there are some pastoral ministry professors out there who are rolling over in their grave that she quoted that. But you know, and I just think that's part of life's journey. Life is tough. And out there at the end, you die and you get set free from this. And from my faith perspective, that's not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, that's where I'm at. You got to be an encourager, and you got to just kind of understand when they need a little kick, a little jump start. Come on, let's go. And when they need to be told, you know, you might ought to just stay in. When Rachel was really thinking that pure exercise, and for about 2 years, exercise was able to control her condition pretty much. One of the things that our doctor at that time told us would help was swimming, getting off her feet, being in the water, and at that point we did find a lot of relief by being in the water and doing some swimming and things of that nature. For most of a school year, she and I would get up and leave our house about 5 o'clock in the morning. We would drive from Terrell to Mesquite, because there was a 24-hour fitness there that had an indoor pool, 12-month-a-year pool. She would get in the pool and I would work out and we would drive back. Then she would go to school and do her cross-country workout and all that, but she needed time in the pool. That was working for her then, and so we did it. I'm not going to tell you that every morning at 4:30 when my alarm went off, I got up and said, "Oh boy." But thankfully, on the days I didn't really want to, she did. And on the days that she didn't want to, I did. And looking back at it, some of our best times were 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning driving to Mesquite, 6:30 driving back, because there's just not a whole lot happening between Terrell and Mesquite at that time in the morning. So we would have a chance to talk, and if I had told her, now we need to talk about relationship stuff, that would have killed it, but it just happens. And I guess as an encourager, that's one thing I would tell you. You don't schedule encouragement, it just happens on the way to do other stuff. It just happens. It just happens while you're doing other things. You know, you can't say, now 4:30 on Tuesday, we're going to have an encouragement session. It's just where you, and listen, you know, I'm a preacher, and my
Trying to wonder.
well, you may can. Maybe I should say I can.
Doesn't work for me.
But the scriptural picture of how Jesus ministered. If you want to go and read the life of Christ out of the Gospels, you know, we always think about the miracles he performed and the teachings and stuff he did, but if you'll read the context, almost all of those, he was on his way to do something else, and he just touched somebody's life on the way. Very few of those events was he going to do that. He was going somewhere else. He just touched people as he came. So while you're on this journey, seize those moments. Grab those moments. Encourage to speed up or to slow down, whatever the moment calls for. But be investing in that relationship. Because let's be honest, there are times when our loved ones that have these conditions, there are times when they're real easy to love, and there are times when they're a challenge to love. And there are times for them, hear me, that they don't want to love anybody. They feel lousy, and they don't care if the whole world knows it. And you need to be for them a safe place in those moments. You need to be that person they can come to. They go to school, or they go to work, or they go to family reunion, and they've been putting on the happy face all day. They need that safe place where they can come and say, "I just feel like crap." And not feel like they will be, not feel like they will still be loved if they're honest with their feelings. Okay? Now, that being said, let me have a word that balances that with those of you that have autonomic problems. And I give this word to you because I have given this word to her, and so has her mama. We want to hear from you when you feel lousy. But please, talk to us when you feel good.
Really bad in college.
Oh, man.
Yeah, when she was off at college, and especially her freshman year, she was running cross country, and we never heard from her, but her last 3 years after she hurt her hip, she had a tendency to call when she felt really lousy. And